Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've made it through everything else, all this week's, all of our Marvel books, as well as our single offering from Boom Studios. Now it's time to cover this week's DC books. Kicking things off, we've got Batman and Robin, number 2. Where we left off, Batman and Robin were we're dealing with Killer Croc, Orca, and the Terrible Trio, who were kidnapping a doctor who had been targeted by White Rabbit the previous night. Batman had been hit with a gas pellet, which caused the bats of Gotham to fly into a frenzy around him. Also, the Terrible Trio were no longer wearing masks, but had seemingly been turned into animal-human hybrids. We open with a flashback. Damien being given a bat by his mother, thinking it's cute. She wonders where he heard the word. One of the guards said it. Oh, it's not his mother. It's Mistress Harsh. But the bat is supposed to be a lesson for him not to get too attached to things, as Mistress Harsh kills it. But Mistress Harsh adds that Damien could have stopped her, but he was caught up in his feelings. But Batman manages to get Robin manages to get the bats away from Batman, in part as Batman has a mixture that his mother used to use to keep bats away from the mansion. This is all being watched by a villainess named Hush, who's going to hit Batman with the gas pellet. But Shush has managed to achieve her goal. Killer Croc says he's out. He's got other stuff to attend to, namely Poison Ivy. But the scientists and Terrible Trio and Orca are taken to Shush's lair. But it's pointed out that, now that Batman knows, they have a very limited window to get things done. Damien stitches up his father with Batman complimenting him. Apparently he learned how to stitch via Alfred. It's going to take a while for the gas to work its way out of Batman's system, so he can only go out during the day. The next day, however, Damien has to go to starts high school. And yeah, makes a quick enemy out of one of their kids, or one of their students, who takes his notebook and probably ditches class. Going to Blackgate to talk to White Rabbit, and running into his father. As they argue, however, White Rabbit's able to escape or be broken out by Shush and the Terrible Trio. And that is where the issue ends. Okay, things are getting interesting. I can definitely appreciate, especially after last week's issue of Batman, why they're kind of downplaying the events of Gotham War at the moment. Seeing as how it seems that even Damien has been Batman even turns back on Robin. Damien, that is. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Wesley Dodds' Sandman, number 1. This is the first of 3 Golden Age set miniseries each one focusing on one of the Golden Age heroes. At least Wesley Dodds' Sandman is set in the Golden Age. The J. Garrick Flash book will be set in the modern age. I'm not sure yet about Alan Scott Green Lantern, but we'll see. So Wesley Dodds' Sandman was a Golden Age hero. He had a chemical concoction that could that could knock people out. He used this to subdue criminals and bring them in. He interacted briefly, somewhat with Dream. He also had Wesley Dodds has prophetic dreams, after all. In fact, there was a comic in I want to say the early days of Vertigo entitled Sandman Mystery Theater, which actually focused on Wesley Dodds and told darker stories from the Golden Age, basically. So we open in summer of 1940 in Manhattan. Sandman brings down a mobster named Robert Rossi for he'll be held to account for the life of one Abel Dreyfus. He talks over his father served in World War I. He saw and he learned of the first nightmare he ever had was of the war and the trenches. But most of his dreams are quite dark. See criminals like Robert Rossi or the Tarantula, a sadist who preys on women for sick sport, as he puts it. But also a one that shows figures in elaborate dress, bright costumes. It's the JSA. But the next day, Dodds wakes up. He has a meeting with to potentially. He has a meeting at a fort in Brooklyn about his sleep gas, and he's looking over his notebook about his attempts to make the sleep gas in the first place and the failures before he perfected it. His girlfriend Diane shows up to wish him luck at Fort Hamilton. Meets with an old friend of his father's, who introduces him to Colonel Breckinridge, and the Colonel isn't seeing the real application of the sleep gas. Dodds explains, "Yeah, you don't have to kill anyone. You can just put the opposing side to sleep, and then go on about your mission." But the Colonel points out, okay, well, where do you keep them while they're sleeping? What if they wake up before you're on your way back? Basically saying that bullets, bombs, guns, lethality, it's cheaper. And so Wheeler, Dodds' father's friend, invites him and Diane to a party that night. But Dodds is preoccupied because, he's got his he was supposed to be he made it big, but he didn't. But Dodds is introduced to a fellow scientist by the name of Rex Tyler, the original Miracle Man. While this is going on, someone appears to be digging through Dodds' home. But Dodds, Dodds leaves the party, insisting that Diane stay, and his butler will take her home. And Dodds changes into his Sandman costume. Knocks out a few crooks who are mugging a dock worker. It was payday. But fire engine rolls by, call fire, and so Dodds heads out, joins in the chase, to only discover that the fire is at his home. And that is where the issue ends. It's also shown in the flashes before the fire that the whoever it was that was snooping around at the Dodds estate stole Wesley's notebook. Interesting start. Golden Age Sandman, Wesley Dodds recently made a reappearance in Night Terrors, resurrected by Lazarus Resin, briefly. And he was able to provide a decent amount of help to dead men possessed Batman. So it's nice getting to see some past adventures of him. I wouldn't mind if he'd gotten to stick around a bit, but maybe pop up in modern day in JSA, but such is not to be. Moving on to our next book, we've got World's Finest Teen Titans number 4. Where we left off, it seems that some of Titans' recent villains are being recruited by a mysterious figure. But Roy shows up at Wally's house. Wally and Garth are spending the weekend with Wally. Or Roy and Garth are spending the weekend with Wally. Wally's parents don't know that Wally's kid Flash, or that Roy is Speedy, or that Garth is Aqualad. So Garth especially comes off as a bit strange. Drinking a lot of water, and Roy is very open about the fact that he's the ward of Oliver Queen. In DC, Mal Duncan has brought a package. It's Guardian's shield. Roy's being a show-off, and Wally's being kind of a jerk towards Garth. But Roy tries to give Garth some advice about Donna. There's, among all the bullshit that Roy peddles to Garth, he does at least come up, give him, some good advice. Basically, to stop pretending, for Garth to stop pretending to be someone he's not, because it's hard work, and just to be an awesome, him. That night, they're playing video games, and, Roy bought the West's big screen TV. At the Titan's lair, Robin is getting information about Toy Boy's recent disappearance. 2 dead police officers, 1 trashed cop car, no signs of Toy Boy. Titans fans in the state are keeping eyes out for him with the hashtag report but do not engage. It turns out that Donna, who Garth mentioned seems to have wants to try everything. Decided to try demolition derby. She can't drive, but it doesn't really matter. She had a blast though. The next day, turns out that the West don't really like Roy, and don't think that, in part because he's egotistical, he's materialistic, but most importantly, the way he treats Garth. But Garth sticks up for him, and the Roy over here is basically saying that you know, Roy would probably be a much better person if his guardian Ollie were to make time for him. If he had parents like the West, he'd probably be a better person. And so the West decide, oh, all right, Roy's lucky to have friends like Garth and Wally. Bumblebee has lunch with Mal Duncan, having given him the Guardian's shield, and Mal explains that his great granddad was a Metropolis cop that worked alongside Guardian and the Newsboy Legion. It's also explained that it's the actual shield, though there were some modifications to it. A button on the back, but Mal should only push it if he's ready to be Guardian. However, car door is thrown through the window of the diner they're at, and a villain named Ant attacks Bumblebee. But of course, there's collateral damage, and so Mal pushes the button on the back of the suit, and or on the back of the shield, and gets a Guardian suit. Runs out, saves the kid that's damaged, and now Ant's got two targets: a new Guardian and Bumblebee. But the mysterious force behind this new group of Titans villains explains that there's the one way to get on the team. That's by killing a Titan. And that is where the issue ends. I'm presuming that the accident that cost... In current continuity, Mal Duncan has become Herald. Before that he was Vox. But he was mute. He had sonic powers, but he couldn't speak. I think that we're probably about to see the what caused that. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Danger Street, number 10. Where we left off, our two knights fought valiantly, both dying. So, Jack Ryder heads up to the roof, finds the bodies of the two dead knights. Lady Cop is trying to get the FBI to look into the Commodore, to no avail, and wondering what the deal is with the Helmet of Fate. Warlord is trying to help the Dingbats figure out who took the body of their dead friend. Seems it was Orion. Jack Ryder calls the Commodore up to the roof of GTN and the Commodore reclaims his diamond sword and has Jack kneel and seemingly knights him. Tells Ryder also it seems that the Commodore knows that Ryder's a creeper. Highfather continues to try and stand against Darkseid, but can't. But Warlord asks Starman if he can track down Orion's mother box. It's energy signature, so. But he, more or less, Warlord's worried that doing so would kill Starman. But Jack suggests that the Commodore that he do a piece on the two dead bodies, but Commodore's like, it's not important. However, the Outsiders have made their way to GTN headquarters, all while Lady Cop is on a plane back to California, preferring to hold the helmet of fate rather than stow it in one of the various over not the under the front seat in front of her. Warlord tracks down Orion, but he needs the boy's body and the helmet. Which it should be noted that Orion's drunk, like very drunk. Jack turns into the Creeper to deal with the Outsiders. Who basically explain that they just want things to go back the way they were. Jack turns into the Creeper to deal with them. With one holding the Commodore saying all they did was step outside the line. They just want the helmet, and that's that. They'll disappear. Warlord finds the boy's body. And it seems that the Outsiders at least knocked out the Commodore. And Creeper is seemingly taking their side. And that is where the issue ends. Things are definitely picking up here. Soon all the players will be brought together, it would appear, over the course of the next two issues. Anyways, moving on to our last book of the week, we have Batman, City of Madness, Book 1. This is obviously, a Black Label Batman book, just started up. It begins with a young boy in Smallville buying a bus ticket to Gotham. Apparently, he's never seen a bat before, and, got at the bus station says Gotham will see plenty. So it turns out that Batman, or that Alfred, at this point stage in Batman's career, writes nightly letters to Batman, and then burns them in the morning. Burns them before they can be read. But Batman goes after Two-Face. Something seems to be more wrong than usual. His henchmen are divided, but Two-Face's current headquarters is an unfinished apartment building that will likely never be finished, as all the investors have vanished. But once Batman takes down Two-Face's henchman, Harvey asks for help. At one of Gotham's office buildings, consultant is explaining that there's an environmental problem affecting Gotham. an extreme groundwater flood for all intents and purposes. There's the affecting the River Princess, subterranean river which flows beneath Gotham. The Princess bursts its banks, leading to the collapse of a third of the Narrows. But man is taken underground, but into the sub-basements of the building. As the head of the company, the meeting he was speaking at, is another Court of Owls, which appears to have some inner strife. The door is open. The creature inside did not escape, but another member of the court intends to kill it. The Talon arrives to dispatch the wayward member of the court. And it seems that the creature inside the vault is Batman, or at least appears to be Batman. It escapes, and the young boys arrived in Gotham, looking for the cop who murdered his father. But Batman heads to Arkham to talk to Harvey. Diagnoses it seems that there's someone else in there with him. There's someone else in there with Harvey and Two-Face. Barbara comes by the manor to talk with Alfred, noting that with Alfred being a little not so much standoffish, but reluctant to talk about what's going on with him. Barbara does say, with everything we've all been through, you think we can all talk to each other about stuff. But however, Barbara does say, however, if maybe there wouldn't have ever been a Batman if he had talked about his feelings. But Harvey does say that it's not another voice, but it's like he's getting a signal. The boy is harassed by what appears to be some, what appears to be the Terrible Trio. And he's got a gun. The Terrible Trio are at this point wearing masks, but the creature shows up, deals with killing the Terrible Trio, and takes the boy with him. The Court of Owls discusses what they're going to do, and that they are likely to need to do something extreme. Ask the Batman for help. But the signal arrives for Two-Face, and it's kind of it appears as him, but from a different angle. Whereas Two-Face is usually, left side burned, right side fine. This is lower half burned, upper half fine. And the creature flies off into the night carrying the boy, and that is planning to make the boy his Robin. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting. It's always, I have to say, admit, it's always nice to see the Court of Owls. But anyway, also the book looks great. Like so far every Black Label Batman book has. Well, honestly, I think every Black Label book I've picked up, period, has looked great. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box. Down below, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.